What's up guys, and welcome back to On The Brick, and welcome to May. Like I said last week, May is my birthday month, and so the theme for this month is just minifigures that I really like. And today, I have Paul Atreides from Dune. Jinming Wang correctly guessed this, and technically so did Matthew, but he said that it was from Firestar Toys, and I don't think they make one. Anyway, this version actually comes from Fig Fab Labs, so I'm going to tell you right now, don't waste your money there. While this minifigure is pretty good, I've had more quality issues with Fig Fab Labs than not, so I cannot recommend them. In fact, the only reason I'm showing off this minifigure is because I really love Dune. It is such a good movie, and not just the movie, but like the whole universe world that it has. I have actually read the first Dune book and plan to keep reading the rest, and I found it about 80% enjoyable. Most of it was really well done, some parts just really needed to get on with it already. And the Denis Villeneuve movie, however you say his name, was really good. Of course, some things were changed, and I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't actually seen it yet, because you definitely should. But overall, point being, Dune was really good, and as soon as I watched it, I wanted to get a minifigure, so I bought the first and only one that I found. And it's surprisingly pretty decent. In fact, it's almost exactly like the book. 80% pretty good, 20% flawed. Now, this is not really just like a suit of armor or anything. This is Paul Atreides in what's called a still suit, since Dune is a desert planet that is like worse than Tatooine. People need these special suits in order to conserve every last ounce of water that they can and survive. And this recreation of it is fairly accurate. It's not perfect, to be honest. For instance, in the movie, Paul has this cloak jacket thing that he is almost always wearing. Like, look at any picture of him and he's wearing it. Why it wasn't included, I don't know, probably for the sake of cost, but honestly, it looks incomplete because now this isn't really Paul as much as it is just someone wearing a still suit. You'll also notice one of the bigger elements that is absolutely missing is like the nose plug that is seriously like one of the most defining features of this suit. It is necessary to it because literally they have to conserve every ounce of humidity and water that they can. Like, the suit is designed to recycle and reserve every last drop, including what's inside your nose. Now, this one's a little more forgivable as there are plenty of times where he doesn't have that in, but it would have been really nice to see still. It really completes the figure. And that's not to say there isn't detail here, because there is. I mean, for instance, look at the back here. There's a lot going on, even if it is just the back and most people don't really see this. You know, you've got different tubes and whatnot. And actually, looking at it now in editing, it is pretty simple, especially compared to the front, which understandably has a lot more going on and is way more intricate. There's more layers here, more depth, but honestly, I can't help but feel that if someone else was to take this on, they would do a much better job at actually getting the look of this thing down. Because at an initial glance, it looks like it's very intricate, but the more you actually look at this and see, you realize it's pretty plain, all things considered. There's a difference between something being detailed and something just being a line meant to look like detail. I mean, look at like the 3 ovals on either side of the body here. What's actually going on there? What are those supposed to represent or be? They're kind of just there. But one of the bigger flaws of this minifigure is the quality of the printing itself. And to show you this, we're going to look at the legs here. The first thing that I noticed is the printing is not centered. Look at the line right between the legs where there's that gray pentagon thing. So if you're looking at the right area, you'll notice it's split into 3. There's the center area, and then there's a triangle on each side. The one on the left is smaller than the one on the right, even though it's supposed to be the same size. But that's pretty minor compared to the fact that the print quality itself, as in how it actually looks, is pretty poor. The lines here are really fuzzy and just not really top quality at all. For comparison, here is Commander Cody from Clone Army Customs. And yes, I know that this isn't really like the best comparison. Cody is being printed onto some white legs while Paul is on dark black legs, but the difference that I want to point out is how crisp and clean everything on Cody is. The lines are straight, the colors pop, and they look not like they were actually printed on, but like they were already part of this figure from the beginning. While the printing on Paul just looks fuzzy and it gets awkwardly cut off near the bottom there, and it just doesn't really look good. It's not like this is trying to represent how it's been run down over the years in the desert or anything either, because that can be done without it looking fuzzy. This just doesn't look like it was printed right. So overall, I am really happy to have this guy, but I would love to see someone else's take on it. I cannot wait to see what everyone else can do if they choose to make him. But next week, we're going to be looking at a figure that I am super happy to have and was extremely well made. It is a 1 out of 1 custom minifigure from Hoodies Studios, so someone better call Lilo because 626 is free again. Let me know your guesses in the comments down below, and remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you want to support me further, you can always check me out on Instagram, Discord, and of course on Patreon, where you can join all of these wonderful people and really help me out a lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.